3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome back to Show Me Trucks. In this video, I keep working on the 67 short bed C10 back here, converting it to four-wheel drive. So let me show you where I'm at today. Well, started off by, this is a two-wheel drive cab, so I had to cut that out. I have a high hump. Pulled the shifter, SM465 shifter out. I still don't have my 208 transfer case in. Put the engine in today. It's super tight. I mean, it's how it's supposed to be, but I had thought that you could drop the engine and tranny in as one piece. I actually thought you could do it with the transfer case, which was never happening. It was so hard to do. Just with this, I had to get it in place and then stand inside and kind of try to pick up that transmission up onto the transmission mount, but everything's in. I'm trying to figure out linkage right now. My big issue right now is that linkage does not line up to save its life. So I think what I'm gonna do is, instead of flipping this rod around, I think I'm gonna cut it here and then rotate that over. That way it lines up in the hole. I don't want that dragging up on the side the whole time. That way that linkage is set up and that pushes your clutch fork down there. Got the manifolds on. I was pretty excited. I was hoping to use these manifolds. I really didn't want to buy anything. So it's just tight in there. And whenever you look at it, it just seems like that cross member is backwards for some reason. If you haven't worked on the four-wheel drives, which I haven't, it just seems like, it almost seems like it should be the other way, but it's not. I need to find an air cleaner still. And then here's more of my linkage that I have to get set up. So transfer case shifter, there's that high hump. Luckily it already had a hole in the right spot, so that's good. Other ring would be for the other shifter, but I don't know that location yet. So luckily they didn't have a bunch of holes in there. This is your clutch pedal, and then that linkage runs into here, and whenever you push it, it moves it. So there's a return spring on there. I don't have one there right now, but let's climb under. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm getting blinded down here. So obviously all this is coming out. I'm just kind of test fitting everything, see what I have to do. So I think I'm gonna have to manhandle that transfer case up here, which is a cast iron block. It's gonna be horrible. But I want to figure out all my linkage and see if I need to find any parts. I might go to the junkyard on Friday. So trying to see what I need. I do need the mount that goes over here on the frame. It's a support for the transfer case because it's so unreal heavy. I think what I'm gonna do next is muscle this transfer case over. All right, well, a little show and tell. Trying to wrap up this 67 video, but let me show you some of the parts I got. I'm gonna clean them up today and see how they turn out. Friday, I went to Salvage yard. I've been there before, but I'll throw in some clips from there. They got some new vehicles in, which was cool. You know, usually you think of salvage yards not getting new older vehicles in very often. I know everyone's gonna hate that I'm using old parts, but you gotta recycle sometimes. The core charge is more than what I paid for this, so hopefully it works, at least to get it running. If I find out they're bad, whatever, I'll use it as the core and get my money back and then go buy a new alternator or starter. I got one of these extensions because I didn't have one, but what I'm finding is the pin in my water pump is too big. I picked up a hard line for the fuel line. I'm gonna use 5/16. I already have the one from the tank that goes under the cab. I like these little clear see-through filters so you can see if you got gas coming in. Of course, I got a little donut, exhaust manifold donut. I kept telling the parts guy I didn't think it was the right one, and I gambled and took it home, and it's not the right one. It's supposed to have like a double V, so I ordered those today. Hopefully they'll be in next week. $15 mistake, and then it's out of the package, so I really think they should take it back since it's the wrong part, but I haven't tried yet. We'll see. I got a gas cap at the second yard. The second yard had way more older vehicles, which was nice. I had a 67 that I'm going to go back and steal some more parts. Someone already got one of the seat belts, but at least I got an extra one, and it is stuck as can be right now. And then I got these out of another car, I think an Impala. Hopefully those work, because I'm going to keep trying to accumulate enough for the Suburban, because I like the airplane style belts. These are moved nice, and most people don't think to steal that stuff out of there. And then a little oil cap. I just thought that looked cool instead of just a, I don't know, little plug, or even on the valve covers I have now. It's got a little twist one that I don't really like. And then I went to an exhaust shop and had them flare out some 2-inch exhaust, because that's what's going to mount up to my manifold. I have the little flange piece coming in a couple of days, and then I have the donut coming in. That way I can run my exhaust up there, and then because my engine's all in place, I'd like to at least run it back up underneath the cab wherever the muffler goes, and then I can build the rest later. The score from the salvage yard is I got these 283 scripted valve covers. I always thought those looked cool, and the price was right. I think there's 13 a piece, so 26 bucks, and I would have paid more than that if I had to buy it somewhere else. And then I got an air cleaner, and I told you I was missing an air cleaner. I told you before I made a stupid amateur mistake and let this guy take the power steering pump that I had for the truck before, because I figured I wasn't going to buy an engine unless it had the right power steering pump. Well, of course I bought the wrong one. The engine I bought had this power steering pump that has a remote reservoir, and just bigger and bulky and looks dumb, I think. It's just extra stuff. So I picked up this one, you know, so kind of ate some cost on that, which sucked. Also, I got one of these power steering lines, you know, your low pressure line. I want to show you this clutch setup. So if you knew before, I told you I've got this engine from a farm truck, and the top flywheel and clutch disc and clutch are bigger. These are the 13-inch, and then that flywheel is way bigger, like way bigger than the one that I had in there. That's why I had a weird adapter on it. And these are 12-inch. So these I had from before. They came out of the engine and tranny setup I had, and the flywheel is already on the engine. That way, whenever I hook up this starter, I can crank it over without. I don't need any of the clutch. I'm gonna pull it all apart later anyway. I just need the flywheel to start it up. Just showing you the difference, and I don't plan on using any of it anyway. I'm gonna order a clutch kit and rebuild all that. So obviously I would love to be cheap since I'm just selling the truck, but I think I'm gonna spend the 180 bucks or whatever to rebuild this the right way. So I got the 205 transfer case in there. Horrible. Don't ever try to manhandle that by yourself unless you're super strong. So they're actually really simple. I don't know why I hadn't had any of this together, so I thought I had more linkage, but it was actually for column shift. That's why I was confused on where it went to. But these, I know it's dark in here, but you just shift, you know, 4 low, 2 high, 4 high, and you know, it just pulls front and back. That's all it does in there. You don't have a ton of linkage. It's not stupid. I'm excited, and obviously you just shift up there. And then another thing I picked up that's super handy is I was showing you guys that my linkage wasn't right. Well, I went and looked in some other trucks, and luckily there was that one of those panels had the right linkage. And see how it comes over, obviously, the lower one. and it'll line up with this. I don't know why they moved it over so far. You know, to me, if it was right on there, it would be fine, but there must be a reason. It must hit your manifold sometimes or something, or they just wanted to make sure you had plenty of clearance to get your hand in there. Maybe spark plugs, I guess. So luckily I got that for free also, so that was cool. Yeah, this is the difference that I'm seeing is a lot of the square bodies, they have a different transfer case that have a slip yoke in there. And I'm happy I don't, because I would love this, because if you know much about these, for one, they're really strong. So if you did hit the case, I wouldn't be as worried about breaking it. But also, if you bent your rear shaft or broke a U-joint or something, all your fluid doesn't come out the back. You can drive away with just your front shaft. That's some exciting progress. You know, I did burn up a whole day, but it's almost like going to the swap meets. It's one of my favorite things to do is walk around a salvage yard. And this one had so many old vehicles that it was a blast. Valve covers are looking sweet. So just clean them up for now. Obviously, I'm going to paint them later whenever I paint the block and everything. I think I'm going to paint those black. I think I'm going to do the whole block. I kind of decided the whole block and everything's going to be that flat, kind of satin black that the frame is. And then grade 8 hardware. I'm going to try to do that throughout. So I was on the fence between, you know, Chevy orange that everyone does, but I think I'm gonna do black and then just paint those letters gold. Well, it is a diamond T. Huh. Those are cool. An old Studebaker. Nothing crazy in here. That's an old Ford. There's a winch for you. Put some weight in your truck. Chain drive going down there. Flathead. That's crazy. It's a cat. It's like a cast aluminum. That's wild. Obviously someone torched it in here, pulled everything out, but that's a cool one. I really like these headlight stands. They're interesting. And I love the tow hooks. That's cool. And it's got these big old beefy wheels. And then look how thick that arm is nuts. Look at all these levers. Holy cow. Look at all that. There's another big boy winch for you. Love this old chain drive. The tires have had better days. V8. A little flathead for you. Let's see if it turns. Oh, she's a little locked up. Carburetor needs a rebuild. But gold truck. Let's see what's in here. Oh, no dash. Nothing. Small pedals. Those are kind of cool. Got some new ones. So I'm all forward, but I couldn't believe this Suburban's in here. I was looking for one of these for a while. This door's had better days. That's hilarious. I wonder if they broke it before or not. It's got the steering column at least, you know, if you really need one of those. Nothing else really that cool in here. And the whole selection in there. They got a panel. And they got a lot of new stuff. I guess I gotta come here more often. I think another Lincoln. There's some engines for you. Very small block, but you got some big boys. Oh, she roached. She's looking rough in there. Studebaker. I love how this back is. Looks like the glass goes down, but also you can tell that has a weird little rise in it. So that must go that way too. Pretty cool. She crushed you in the front though.